Hi, Facebook friends. Helen Archontou here, CEO of the YWCA of Northern New Jersey. TGIF. I don't know about you, but it has been a long week. But it was worth it to get to Friday because we're having, I think every Friday should be Fridays with Rama. I mean, that just sounds like, something that can like get us through the tough days,
Yes.
knowing that there's going to be some great treat at the end of the week with Chef Rama. But today is going to be a real treat for sure. A great ending, or I should say, beginning to your weekend, maybe. And definitely a great way if you're home and you're having lunch. What better way than to spend your lunch hour with us? Because we know that tis the season for everything pumpkin. I know I was surprised how even come August, people were like already like, is it too early for pumpkin spice? To me, yes, it was. But it seems that for most of the world, people were ready for pumpkin spice.
I so agree with you. I know people who just look forward like all year long, and I'm like, oh no, there's other flavors out there too.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I really do love pumpkin. And I have to say, my dog loves pumpkin. I feel like everybody loves pumpkin. And it's infiltrated every aspect of our life. I mean, there's pumpkin pie, there's pumpkin hummus. And today we're going to make a real nice pumpkin treat, which is something that is, Chef Rama is going to show us how easy it is to make. And then, it's something that you can pop into your weekend routine. This might be a little bit rainy here or there, it sounds like. So, this is a nice fall harvesty treat that you can make with your crew. But before we jump into that, I'm going to remind you about the wonderful Chef Rama. She is a friend of the YW. We're so happy to have her back. Those of you who are regulars with YW TV know that she has been with us multiple times, and each time it's been something new, exciting, and delicious. Lori's chiming in that she loves pumpkin. Lori, are you a pumpkin person in August, though? That's what we need to know.
Yeah.
We need to know who can hang with you. Are you a pumpkin person in August? You wait till October, like the rest of us. But so let me tell you. So Rama was trained as a chef at the Institute of Integrative Nutrition and Columbia University's Teacher College, and also has a bachelor's in culinary arts management from the Culinary Institute of America. Is it culinary or culinary? How am I supposed to say that?
Honestly, people say it either way. It's like pecans. It's one of those.
Okay.
You know what I
I want
mean?
to make
So
sure.
you're good.
No disrespect. I want to make sure I got it right.
Good.
But I have to say, she noticed from the start of her career that so many of her friends and family were totally overscheduled, and they really were relying on drive-throughs and freezer meals to feed everyone. And that bothered her on so many levels because she is all about the healthy and the easy kind of packaged together. And that's how her idea of wannabe chef was born. Because she loves food, she loves family, and she loves culture. And this is a perfect marriage of all of those things. In addition to her meal prep and her private chef skills, she is a holistic health counselor, an educator, and a teacher. She's just all around a fun person to be with, too.
Aw,
I just have to
you.
say, from the times that I've gotten to hang with her, and can't wait for this time to be over so I could stop hanging with her through a screen.
Yeah, that'd be that would be
Because
really.
I want to be sitting next to her and trying what she's cooking for us. I just want to be clear. I'm not okay with this arrangement.
I'm telling you, I'm contemplating like some sort of interactive chef's table of some sort to meet all my friends and just kind of have a big food blowout of some sort. I don't know when, but
We
soon.
need something, or an outdoor harvest table. Can we come up with that before,
Yes.
like a good long outdoor harvest
Yeah.
table that's safe with some good distance in between?
Or you know what I'm thinking? A YWCA potluck.
I'm in.
Just
I'm in.
thinking. Just
I'll
thinking
make
about
spinach
that, you know?
pie. I'll make spinach pie.
I love it.
But before we jump into everything pumpkin, folks, I don't know if you know. I know because I got to see it. But Chef Rama was on Chopped this past May.
Yeah.
And, I know a lot of us are, Food Network, devotees, especially when one of our local friends, gets to make an appearance. So tell us, what was that like?
Honestly, Helen, I was just talking to someone about it yesterday because it kind of pops up here and there in my head. It was one of those bucket list experiences. Like as a young culinary student, when you get into cooking school at 18, that's something that you're thinking about like from day one. You know, the food network just glamorizes the industry in so many amazing ways. And that's kind of one of our, I don't know, I would say for a lot of chefs, one of our bucket list items. So I will be really honest. I thought I would never be able to compete, do competitive cooking, because I'm like, oh, I don't work in a restaurant. I'm not on the line. I'm a little rusty with working with that like really high stress environment because, I private chef, I'm working against the clock, but not in that manner. So fast forward to this past May, my daughter was the one who filled out the form online when she found an email in my inbox that I ignored. And through lots of interviews, I got to compete in May with 3 other great chefs. The episode is a peanut butter and jelly themed. And one of the highlights was meeting Chef Maneet Chauhan, who I love. She's like one of the Indian celebrity chefs, and she was amazing. I want to do it again. I really do. I want to do it again. I want to do more cooking shows, cooking competitions. I didn't realize how much I would love it. I just loved it.
Well, I can only imagine that is like a, for sure, a bucket list, like a pinnacle, a pinnacle for your career for sure. But and also just so much fun and
so much fun. I mean, you're just in your like arena. You're just in your just really living your passion, especially at those moments. And the other really important thing, and one of the main drives, and I think it connects with YWCA, is mothers, women. I wanted to show my kids, my fellow cooking class students, I have a lot of kids who I teach, fellow mothers, peers, friends, that honestly, like, if you love something, go for it. There's no perfect time, or do not ever feel like you have to pick and choose. You could be a great mom, great wife, great friend, great daughter, daughter-in-law, and you could also love your career. So especially in the kitchen, we're so outnumbered. It's a 7-to-1 ratio, 7 men to 1 female in our industry. And I think it's like 2% of female chefs.
Well, thank you for breaking barriers and making space, and really just creating yesterday we had a great Share the Mic Now with Avis Yates Rivers, who was breaking barriers in the tech industry for women. And we have to say we've got so many great role models in our circle, and so glad that our young women, and so many of us, even that we're a little bit older, it's never too late. It's never too late to follow your passion as you're sharing. So if your passion is pumpkin, I know, Lori, your passion is pumpkin. Lori's like, yes. I love pumpkin all the time. And Christina Metz, one of our board members, saw you on Chopped and said,
"Oh yes, I love Christina."
So if our viewers want to go look for your Chopped episode, I know you sent it to me. Which number was it again?
It was season 46, and I need to confirm the episode. I don't remember. I should have this memorized, like my brain.
All right, we'll drop it. Chef Rama will put it in the comments later, so you can go watch it. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah, definitely. And if you watch it, and if you want the Thai curry recipe that I winged it, right? I'm not planning what I'm making. We have that little class available online somewhere too. I think on the website. Yeah.
Good. All right, folks. All right, so you can go check it out, because I know she sent it to me. That's how I hunted it down.
Yeah.
And so let's get to pumpkin, lady.
Let's get to pumpkin. Yeah. So let's talk about
what are we making today?
We are going to be making pumpkin bars. So Helen, I want you to, and everybody else watching, I want you to think about a blondie, like the unbrownie, I would say, a blondie meat pumpkin pie. Okay. That kind of combination together. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, of flavors. And I'll be really honest with you. I tend to cook a lot healthier. And I try to do some easy swap outs, but with the holiday season coming up right now, honestly, I just lean into it. I put the white sugar into the baked goods. I try to use the best ingredients when possible. And for me, it's all about moderation for me and my clients, my family. So today we're going to be a little indulgent and use some indulgent stuff to make these delicious pumpkin bars.
It's Friday and it's the weekend.
That's
so come
what
on.
I say.
And folks, the recipe is in the comments here, so you don't have to be worried about jotting it all down. Watch Rama, watch her technique, watch Chef, and then you can check it out later. So you can run to the store, get the items, and make them over the weekend.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. So I actually wanted to show you guys the recipe, not the finished product, but break it down really quickly and give you a couple of tips along the way. Okay. So what we're going to start off is, of course, you want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. We're going to start off with our dry ingredients. So if you can see me, I think you can see me pretty well. I've got some flour in here, baking soda, baking powder, and pumpkin pie spice, Helen, and only comes out in October in my house.
I like that.
And what we're going to do actually, and what I'll switch it, what we're going to do is we're going to sift our dry ingredients together. People ask me all the time, like, what should I buy in a kitchen? Do I need a sifter? No, really. This is just a colander, a fine mesh colander that you can use to drain pasta. You can use to sift. You can use for anything. I'm all about cooking smarter, not harder. So that includes not buying every cooking utensil or appliance in the world. Okay. So one of the reasons you want to sift is you want to it allows for these bars to get nice and fluffy. So it just aerates the flour. Okay. So this is a pretty crucial step. If you got kids around, they want to help, this is perfect. And that's it. Okay. So I've got the flour, the cinnamon, nutmeg mixture, baking soda, and baking powder. Okay. And we're going to keep that aside. Oops, I lost some flour, which is totally okay. And if you want to sub this for whole wheat flour, this works as well. But I just use white today. And now we're going to get everything together. So another quick chef tip. Now, I'm very particular about my pumpkin. Helen, do you have any particular favorite pumpkin puree?
And as I said, my dog loves it too, so I freeze it for my dog. Both of my last dog and my new dog, my new puppy also. So I freeze it into little cubes, and it becomes like a treat. But I usually get just an organic puree.
I was just gonna say, honestly, the difference between an organic pumpkin puree versus a not organic is the difference. Okay, so I would suggest whenever possible, try to grab organic products when there's a very, I would say kind of small price difference, but also it's just better for you in general. So I always stick to meat, dairy, and when possible, I say, including my Dirty Dozen list to get organic. And my favorite one is actually from, I'll show you right now, from Trader Joe's. Yeah, my favorite one is from Trader Joe's. So what I did is I'm going to combine my wet ingredients, which are 4 eggs, and my pumpkin puree. Now, this is the point where you can actually sneak in, just saying, I hope the kids aren't watching right now, but this is the point where you can actually sneak in grated carrots. You could go ahead and put in half pumpkin puree, half butternut squash puree, get in that fiber. People have add protein powder. So these become protein pumpkin bars. You can go ahead and add a scoop of protein powder. So this is the point where you can really kind of modify it and add a little bit of those mixings without sacrificing the flavor, if that makes sense.
And pumpkin, true pumpkin puree like that is really healthy for you. I don't know about these like spice lattes, that you're getting, but something like this, like you're making, it's full of vitamin C, I think vitamin A, right? It's really
magnesium. Yeah, it really, really is. And that's why, honestly, with a 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree, you really can't go wrong.
Yeah.
You're feeding your kids some yummy stuff right now. Okay. So I've got my dry stuff right there. That's the eggs and the pumpkin puree. And now we're just going to go ahead and get a hand mixer. Oops, sorry. Oh, I didn't lock those. A hand mixer, or if you want, again, you can do this by hand, just with the whisk, but I like my batters really smooth. And honestly, this is usually the highlight in my house of yelling and taking turns to grab the hand mixer. Does it happen to you too?
Everyone loves it. Yes, yes, yes.
So we're just going to get this nice and smooth. First, the wet ingredients, okay, which takes 10 seconds.
So pretty.
And then, that's it. And then what I'm going to do with the dry is I'm going to add in my sugar, okay? I'm going to add in my sugar, and I'm going to slowly add in my dry ingredients. That's it. See that?
Looking good.
And this is basically it. This is basically it. I'm just saying. I'm going to get this nice and smooth. And the other thing I just wanted to say, just to add this in there, this is a double doozy recipe, which I call, in a good way, pumpkin pancakes.
Oh,
Just saying, I've made these into pancakes, and they work really well. That's why I love this recipe. It's so versatile. So versatile.
That's great. Yeah, pumpkin pancakes, pumpkin waffles. Lori, I'm with you on those. I know Lori's the pumpkin lady. I'll take the pumpkin pancakes and the pumpkin waffles this season for sure.
I know, so good, right? And that's it. So I have everything together. It's a perfect, nice kind of
beautiful
cake batter. All you're gonna do, bar batter, pancake batter, all you're gonna do is just take your 13 by 9 kind of brownie tin or blondie, spray it with cooking spray. I'm not going to struggle. I'm not going to, get anything else. And I'm just going to pour the whole batter in there. This goes in the oven for about 30 minutes or until your toothpick comes out clear. And I'm going to quickly demo are you ready for this? A cream cheese frosting.
Wow, I like it.
Why not? And this cream cheese frosting, again, I have made these into pancakes and then I've layered, I've made a pancake tower. So I've taken the pumpkin pancakes, layer the cream cheese, put another pumpkin pancake, and then do the cream cheese on top.
I'm coming to breakfast at your house. That's all I have to say.
Just saying, that's a really fun fall breakfast with coffee.
And so, how do you feel about putting chocolate chips or nuts or something else in these, or would you just leave them?
So good. Are you kidding me? Walnuts.
Yeah. I'm just thinking that there's a mix-ins possible.
Yeah, no, thank you for that, because honestly, pumpkin, walnuts, and chocolate chips, oh my gosh, you came up with the pumpkin magic bars, I'll call that. I love that. Okay, so we'll get that.
Stick with me, Chef Rama. We'll get you. I've got ideas.
You really do. I mean, we could honestly, the best thing for me about cooking and cooking with people and just talking food, it's such a way of showing love. It's such a love language. You know what I mean? Yeah. It brings smiles and laughs. I mean, there's no one I'm ever seeing eating food or enjoying food or talking about food and they're crying, right? I mean,
it's definitely comfort. And especially these days, we need as much comfort as possible.
Exactly. Exactly. So I promised you a beauty shot in a bit. I want to make.
All right, folks, you got that. You got to check back in the comments in about 30 minutes or so. Chef Rama's going to put the finished product picture in there.
Yes.
So you can go back to your day and then check back and see it. And again, the recipe is right here in the comments, so you can print it out. I know Christina Metz, in her house, there's always sweets being made at all times. So,
have you seen Christina's cake or her husband's cakes?
Her husband's cakes are pretty impressive. That's what I was just thinking, that Christina, I feel like he could take this pumpkin recipe and make us a pumpkin shaped cake. What do you think?
Oh my gosh, I love that idea. Okay, so on to the cream cheese. This is so easy. You could do this in your sleep, I promise. We've got some cream cheese, room temperature, a little bit of vanilla extract, a little bit of powdered sugar. And I did put in butter, but butter is really optional, okay? If you really don't want to add in those extra calories or extra fat, skip it. This dough comes out really great, okay? And then you're going to whisk everything together. And I could use a hand mixer, but I don't want to wash the attachments right now with you guys. And then we're going to get this nice and smooth. I just may get a spatula instead because it's not as soft as I want. And the great thing about this is if you want to use this as a cream cheese drizzle for your pancakes or, I don't know, ice cream or anything, you can thin out this frosting with milk. That's a really easy tip.
I just got a vision. I have to report in. Pumpkin bars, ice cream, the cream cheese drizzle, some chocolate, and crushed walnuts on top. What do you think?
Are you kidding me? That's the Sunday that I probably want in at 3:00 today when I'm just crushing.
I feel like there's so many. And tell us about the great ice cream shop in Hillsdale that you've been doing some guest work at
shout out to a mother-daughter team in Hillsdale.
Yeah, we've got to have them on. I'm just talking to our team behind the scenes here, folks. We've got to reach out.
Yeah, they are the sweetest mom and daughter team, very much like my mom and I too. They own Sprinkles in Hillsdale. And the awesome thing about their shop is they have small batch ice cream and their flavors change all the time. They have vegan flavors, so they're looking out for everybody. I'm just saying there's a lot of people who, are dairy free. So the vegan flavors, the best. And I'm honestly, I not because it's only 2 minutes from my house, but the best ice cream cakes. So they custom
I
ice cream
I
cakes.
have to say I was sent I wasn't in the area when you were doing your guest appearance over there, but I was sending, as you know, I was sending all my friends and family over that were in the area because between some of them being vegan and some of them just being
Yep.
local,
Yep.
that looked pretty amazing. So go get some ice cream from Sprinkles and
Yes,
make your
female
pumpkin
owned, mom
sundae.
and daughter
Female owned.
team. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
no.
Christina's giving it a shout out too. All
Yeah.
right, YWTV team, we got to get the Sprinkles folks on here. We got a
Yeah, we
mother-daughter
do.
team over there we need to showcase.
We do. And you know what? They were so gracious to take our idea up, Want to Be Chef, where we wanted to offer kind of unique Indo-Western fusion ice cream and get people aware that ice cream just doesn't have to be chocolate or vanilla or
Right.
chocolate chip or cookies and cream. So we did 3 flavors. We did a pop-up for 3 nights in a row. And I think we're going to do maybe one more. Don't quote me on this, okay? Maybe one more pop-up before the season ends.
Well, you tell us when it is, and maybe that's when we should do our show.
Yeah,
Do a
I mean, I
crossover.
hope you better be there. It was chai ice cream, mango lassi milkshakes, and we had like this cardamom saffron ice cream as well. An ice cream sundae with rose petals on there and everything like that.
Nothing bad. None of it looked bad. That's all I can say.
It was good. Guys, this is your frosting. This is it. This smells like heaven. Just saying. And when these babies cool, oh my gosh, I can eat this. I can do this frosting, really just sweetened vanilla cream cheese on a toast. And I'm just a happy camper. So
We've got options. We've got options for sure.
I know. And that's it, guys. These are the pumpkin bars. You can literally make this.
All right, Chef Rama is coming and going, but there she is. She's back.
Weird. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
You can make these in 5 minutes, and when you have friends coming over, coffee, fire pit dessert, you've got some people over tailgating.
Yeah.
This is your recipe. Promise.
Folks, you heard it here. As I said, the recipe is in the comments. I mean, we just did this while we were chatting about everything ice cream and pumpkin, so it was fast to do. I found it all very easy on my end. So.
I mean, very, very easy. I promise. And that's the whole point. And I think, Helen, from knowing you, I think that's also one of your goals. I have goals with family and being together. Yes. This is honestly time in the kitchen well spent.
Yeah.
Time in the kitchen well spent for yourself, for your family, for your mind, for your soul. I mean, this is a way to get the family together and bake something really nice, that you made instead of buying a package.
And healthy. Like we said, I mean, there's lots of good stuff in there. So before we wrap up, question for you. So what do we think? What's the pumpkin explosion going? I mean, in the world? I mean, it feels like there's like pumpkin everything now.
Can I be honest? And I think, again, I love talk. I like geek out over this kind of conversation, but I really think it's 2 brands that have really brought pumpkin to the forefront and things that, weren't around when I was a kid. Trader Joe's. Mm-hmm. I'm not even joking. They have a cult following with other pumpkin products. I think they really took it and exploded it. People, I don't know if you've been during pumpkin season, but I mean, things sell out in 3 hours in the morning, but they add on more products. And then Starbucks. I mean, they take every season and kind of pretty much, Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, make it very seasonal. So I think things like that, then you hear this stuff in their marketing and everything like that. And then you start thinking about pumpkin all the time and edible, sweet pumpkin. Don't forget, pumpkin and savory is delicious too.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, here we made these tasty pumpkin bars, but pumpkin soups and there's so much you can do with it.
I mean, you take this and you put it in, I mean, not all this, but half of a can of pumpkin puree with a little bit of chicken stock or broth or vegetarian stock or broth, a little bit of non-dairy milk, some garlic and cheese, and blend it up. And guess what? You have a pumpkin cream sauce for your pasta.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. So it's a versatile, but I do think it's based on a lot of these brands and stores that kind of put light to it and come up with all these products. And then,
so one more question. I mean,
sure.
This is the season. A lot of us are out with our kids on the weekends. I was doing it last weekend where you're picking pumpkins and, of course, apples, which is a different show altogether. But pumpkins. So you've got this pumpkin sitting on your front stoop. At the end of the season, should we be doing something with it?
Yeah, two things with it. So one of the things is the seeds. Honestly, they will not go bad. Even if they're sitting on the stoop for a month and a half, 2 months, hammer it open. Really good for anger management. Hammer it open, get the pumpkin seeds, dry them out on a parchment lined cookie sheet, and then go ahead and roast them. You can roast them dry. You can just spray some cooking spray on them and roast them for, honestly, at 400 for about 20 to 25 minutes. And that's it. Or 350, depending on, how crunchy and toasty that you like them. You can season them up. I just read, Helen, maybe you read this too. I just read that people were saying that it's like really good for the environment, right? To break up your pumpkin and put in your backyard.
Well, I was reading that. I was reading that. And I know pumpkin seeds are like high in zinc, I think. Isn't that one of the things that's like super high in zinc, which is
super high in zinc, which is great.
With right now with immunity, everyone's trying to stay healthy.
Protein, a serving. Yeah. Which is so surprising. Magnesium is another one that I was really surprised about too. So
yeah, I heard about and then so should we be and I have to tell you all, 2 years ago, somehow our pumpkin that was on our front stoop got like walloped, and it ended up in the flower bed next to it. The following year, we had pumpkins growing, and out of nowhere, we had pumpkins growing. So I guess you could plant them too, by the way.
That's amazing. That was
it was totally like good fortune, but so that's something else we could do with all of our pumpkins that are around. And so the I'm calling it the gook, but the gook that's inside the pumpkin, I mean, should we be doing anything with that, or just the seeds at this point? I mean, it's honestly, a bigger project.
Just the seeds, because I can't guarantee that the pumpkin itself, like the flesh of the pumpkin inside, would be edible. So I would say that would be up to had a 2-week pumpkin, I think would be okay. But if you have it outside on your stoop for a couple of months, like if you're going to buy this October 1st and then want to do something, I don't know, the end of November, I'm not 100% sure about that. But I did like the idea of people saying, crack it open, put in your backyard. It's a dewormer.
That's what I was going to say. So it will not go to waste. It will not go to waste then. So cook the seeds. I'm glad I mentioned it, Chef Rama. So because I love pumpkin seeds. They're like one of my favorite snacks. So
I'm telling you, and it's so versatile, but the fact is that they're surprising on how good they are for you.
Yeah.
I actually did this pumpkin seed crusted salmon, and I was like, I need to make this more often, because that was just if I eat that every day, oh my gosh.
And just saying, you could drizzle dark chocolate on them, and then that makes it like double the antioxidants. Okay, so I'm all about the chocolate, the chocolate drizzle on everything.
I love it.
Well, I just want to thank you for making the time to be with us today. I know we were talking before we went live how your business has been booming during this time, and I know that you were, one of the women entrepreneurs that had to do a pivot during these, crazy years that are kind of been around us, but that there were so many lessons learned for you and your business, and the resiliency and your way that you just took it all virtually. So folks, if you want to be connected to Chef Rama, she's still doing some virtual classes, which you can check out on her website. You should be following her on social. She's all over on IG. She's on Facebook. On her website, she posts all these great videos so that you can, get a sense of how she's making everything from the lattes. She has some great videos with Mom where they're making lattes from last year that are the turmeric lattes, which were great.
Yes.
So check her out, check out what she's doing, and you can get on a waiting list maybe for her private chef services too. She's booming right now, but there's lots of good stuff happening over at Chef Rama.
I'm super grateful. Thank you. I love being on here with you guys. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the amazing support system, obviously all of you, but my clients. I've got a great community of clients that that I couldn't have asked for a better circle. So feel good.
Well, we thank you. And friends, we hope you have a great weekend full of pumpkin bars with cream cheese frosting. Again, check back in a little while in the comments because we
30
will
minutes.
have a photo. We're working on our taste division over here. And is that true? You are donating a virtual for our virtual gala cooking lessons?
Yes, I am.
Folks.
Yes.
YWCA, we are having our annual gala this year virtually. We decided to keep it safe and keep you home. Part of our silent auction, and thanks for shouting that out, Christina. That's great to share with our viewers. Part of our silent auction is getting some cooking lessons with Chef Rama. And, I don't know why you wouldn't, be knocking each other over for that item. Right here in the link of our comments, you have the website for our gala, and you can do all of your bidding there too. You can buy your ticket. You can bid on this great gift that Chef Rama has donated for us. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Pleasure. And I don't know, folks. I say make your pumpkin bars this weekend. Enjoy them. Enjoy however you spend your weekend. And we hope that you join us again next week. We have lots of great YWTVs lined up for you. There's a lot happening next week. Honestly, October is very busy. October is a busy month. Lots of important stuff. We've got International Day of the Girl. We have International STEM Day. We've got to get people remembering, all the ways to vote. We've got the elections coming in early November. So much going on. We're still in Hispanic Heritage Month until the 15th of the month. So there's lots to cover on YWTV. So stay with us and check out our website for programs and stick with us on social. Thanks, Chef Rama, for taking the time with us today. We're going to check back later to see what our pumpkin bars look like. Thanks to all of you for spending your lunch with us. I hope you enjoyed your time and have a safe, wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week.